The 2nd of October 2017, Haas chief Guenther Steiner reckons the team's lack of pace across one lap ruined its prospects of scoring points at the Malaysian Grand Prix. Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen were both eliminated from Q1 on Saturday at Sepang, qualifying faster than only the Sauber drivers, and lined up from 17th and 18th respectively. Both drivers made gains in the race, with Magnussen finishing 12th, having risen to 9th early on, while Grosjean trailed behind in 13th, having dropped to last after going wide at the start. Steiner believes that Haas needs to unlock more pace from its VF17 over on a lap if it is to score points more regularly. It was a better than expected end of the weekend, even if we didn't get points, which is always what we're here for, said Steiner. Starting 16th and 17th, it's difficult to score points. I think we had a good race. We overtook a lot of other people and we showed that the car can do it. Our assessment that we just underperformed in qualifying is the correct one. We need to find the pace in qualifying that we found in the race. If we start in a better position, we'll be back in the points. All in all, it was a very rough weekend for everybody. It would have been nice to have a point we didn't, but we're still proud from where we started off and where we ended up. Grosjean added that he and Haas went down an incorrect setup path, compromising his chances. The car felt pretty difficult to drive at the beginning, he said. It came back to life on the last pit stop when we put the aero balance in the car. I think we didn't choose the right technical setup this weekend, and I include myself in the decision process. We can learn a lot from the weekend. I'm sure in Japan we're going to get stronger. Haas holds 8th place in the Constructors' Championship, though its advantage over McLaren has been cut to 14 points. Latest news: 1702 F1 1646 Toro Rosso driver Carlos Sainz Jr. believes that an electrical problem denied him a strong chance of a points finish at the F1 1604. Max Verstappen delivered an overdue first win of 2017 while Lewis Hamilton extended his title lead over the recovering Sebastian. F1 1550 go behind the scenes with Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen at the Malaysian Grand Prix. F1 1542 Mark VDS rider Jack Miller will miss the Japanese Grand Prix after fracturing his right leg in a training accident. In Motorsport 1506, Haas chief Guenther Steiner reckons the team's lack of pace across one lap ruined its prospects of scoring points at the F1 1502. René Binder will compete for Rapax at this weekend's penultimate round of the Formula 2 Championship at the Circuito de F2 1428. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner heaped praise on a truly dominant Max Verstappen in the wake of the youngsters. F1 1333 hear from Red Bull racer Daniel Ricciardo off the back of his podium finish at the Malaysian Grand Prix, aboard his flight from F1 1329. Force India's Esteban Ocon described his Malaysian Grand Prix as a race to forget after he was caught up in two separate F1 1216. Antonio Felix da Costa will continue with MS80 Andretti in Formula E for the fourth season of the Electric Series. The FA 1129 McLaren Honda driver Stoffel Vandoorne goes head-to-head with racing director Eric Boullier in a Malaysian Grand Prix quiz. F1 1123 Ferrari chief Maurizio Arrivalbene has made clear that the team will continue to believe in its 2017 challenge, despite another F1 1018 Valtteri Bottas says that he is probably enduring the most difficult time of his career so far, following another Loki. F1 0925 Lewis Hamilton looks back at his standout memories of the Sepang International Circuit after 19 years of the Malaysian Grand. F1 0902 Lewis Hamilton believes that Mercedes has some big problems with its car that need to be rectified ahead of the 2018 season. F1 0829 GP2 race winner Luca Filippi has joined Oliver Turvey at the rebranded Neo team for the upcoming Formula E season, replacing new FA 0742 Williams chief Paddy Lowe says the decision to switch Felipe Massa and Lance Stroll cost both drivers a place to Stoffel. F1 0536 Fernando Alonso's race engineer, Mark Temple, guides you through one of the most complex pieces of kit you could ever get. Your F1 0332 F1 1518 F1 1516 McLaren bids farewell to the Sepang International Circuit and the Malaysian Grand Prix after a 19-year spell on the Formula 1. F1 1327 Toro Rosso's Pierre Gasly reveled in his special Formula 1 debut in Malaysia, and revealed that he completed the 56-lap race. F1 1311 Kimi Räikkönen says everybody at Ferrari is hurt after engine issues afflicted both of its cars during the Malaysian Grand. F1 1302 Sergio Perez expressed his gratitude to doctors at the Malaysian Grand Prix after he overcame illness to claim 6th position. F1 1242 McLaren Honda's Stoffel Vandoorne has described his drive to 7th position in the Malaysian Grand Prix as my best ever race. F1 1153 Mercedes Valtteri Bottas says that he and the team have a lot of things we need to try to understand after enduring an F1 1130 Fernando Alonso says Formula One drivers are 191 against the manner of Kevin Magnussen's racecraft after they came to blows. F1 1106 Red Bull's Daniel Ricciardo was left through his conservative start to the Malaysian Grand Prix after watching teammate Max. F1 1025 Lewis Hamilton reflected on a tough Malaysian Grand Prix for Mercedes after conceding that Red Bull held the upper hand at F1 1022 Ferrari driver Sebastian Vettel has described his contact with Williams rookie Lance Stroll on the cool-down lap at the F1 1013 Max Verstappen hailed his Red Bull RB13 as unbelievable as he swept to victory at the Malaysian Grand Prix. Verstappen, F10939 F10937 F10935 Red Bull's Max Verstappen recorded victory with a dominant drive at the Malaysian Grand Prix after an early pass on Lewis. F10730 F10701 F10637 Ferrari has confirmed that it has fitted new power unit components to Sebastian Vettel's car ahead of the Malaysian Grand. F10604 Formula One tire supplier Pirelli has outlined the ideal strategy for the Malaysian Grand Prix, believing a one-stop super. F10512 has often highlighted a Formula One driver's main reference point as their teammate. Although race results in the final F1